Hugo, what did you make of that match tonight? I mean, for 60 minutes it looked like you were on the back foot.
Listen, I want to stay positive, especially after what we've seen the last 20 minutes. Obviously, if we had started the game in the same way we finished, probably the score will be different. But listen, there is a second leg. We still have our chance. Obviously, it's not the best result that we could get, but we have to deal with that and keep our chin up because we're still alive.
Well, what made that positive change? Was it the tactical shape that was changed, and did that help you?
I think we were a bit more proactive with the ball. I think we managed the possession in the last 20 minutes, and that's in aspect in the game where we failed a bit in first half. But it's true that we have to give a lot of credit for Leipzig because they press very high and it's a very, very good team with a lot of energy. They run a lot and it's not easy, but listen, we had some situation we could have maybe managed better, but it's football, and now there's another big game on Saturday.
Well, they came at you in the first few minutes as an absolute storm. I mean, you were busy tonight.
Yeah, there is a lot of quality in Leipzig, and they show it today. You know, with all the circumstances against us, the last few weeks, the last few months, we need to keep positive. It's not the time to give up or to find excuses. It's just to be ready to fight until the end, and there is plenty of games ahead of us, and we don't have time to think too much. As I said, we're not really happy with the result, but we have to deal with that. We did it in last season, so let's hope with our fans. Let's try to create another story.
Of course, you had a busy night, as I say. You couldn't save the penalty, that's your one thing. But Gareth Southgate made you mad at the match tonight.
Okay, thank you. I would have preferred a win, but
thank you very much. It's understood.
Yeah, I'm not sure he was totally enamoured with that particular trophy on this occasion. He probably won the man of the match in the first minute, didn't he? Just about. The penalty. It was a rash and clumsy challenge from Ben Davies.
Clumsy. I think the ball was which obviously played a key role in it, but the way it died on the way to him, I think he judged the flight of it, he misjudged the flight of it to him. The ball kind of died, lacked pace on it, and I think the panic set in when you feel that you're going to miss the ball. Look at the players on the blind side of him there, 3 against 1. He's in turmoil already, and I think once the ball, he misjudges the flight of it, he panics and thinks the lad's going to be in to score and just brings him down. Very clumsy.
Yeah, he's just going to volley it away with his left foot. You can see there, and in panic stations, you think he's going through and stuck out his right leg. It was a moment of madness, but you do have to feel for him a bit. There's only three men at the back post. It was hard for him to deal with it.
It was a bad good ball, wasn't it, from Vernon?
Yeah, in the end, everybody
died, as Rio was saying, but. For a second, just a split second, I thought Lloris had done it again.
He's striking them low and well, though. Yeah. It's hard, isn't it?
But it's not right in the that bottom corner, Gary, is it?
Well struck, though.
It goes a little bit earlier, maybe.
Yeah.
But no, I think they've deserved their win the way they played there, without a doubt.
I mean, Tottenham didn't exactly have an abundance of chances. It was significantly better the last half an hour or so. Mora probably went the closest right at the end, didn't he?
Yeah, it was a chance. Wasn't sure if there was a little push just before it, but it was a chance. I think it's the 89th minute. I mean, it's far too late to have a chance like this, but there might have been a little push, but once he gets there, you do feel like he should have done better. Big chance.
The chances were few and far between for Spurs. I mean, being at home, you expect the onus to be on them to attack, to take the game to any team that comes here, and they were really on the back foot. And as I said at half-time, they looked like the away team the way they performed and set up today.
They'll need to summon up the magic of Amsterdam, won't they, to turn this one around?
Certainly they will, actually, Joking apart, they've done it before, different personnel. But I'm concerned, because I don't see a team, I don't know what they're doing. And
are you worried about Tottenham?
I am a little bit. I don't see a team knowing what they're doing, pressing together, and I don't see a team with good movement when they've got possession.
That's a bad combination.
Exactly, you've got a problem there, and I think playing 4-4-2 in straight lines, there's nothing wrong with it if you come off the lines and you have make a 3 in midfield and you have the strikers with good movement. I said at half-time and I say it again, they look like a team that's just hoping they're going to play well and hoping they get a break. There's no real. I don't see a team where I see Leipzig. They got a shape when they got the ball. They press. They knew both sides of the game what they were all about, and you could see they were miles ahead of Tottenham as a team on the night. They really were.
They were. Let's hear what the Tottenham Hotspur manager has to say. Here's José Mourinho with Des.
Jose, what do you make of that? Did you think we saw the real Spurs in the last 20 minutes?
Oh, come on. What do you mean by the real Spurs?
Because you changed tempo, changed shape, and we saw you go attacking.
Come on. Come on. Let's be loyal to the boys and tell that they did everything they could do. Lamela, do you know how many training sessions he made with the team?
Not unless you tell me.
0. Direct from injury to recovering on the pitch with the physios, direct to 20 minutes of a game of a Champions League. That is our team. You can look at it and you see the two perspectives. One perspective is an amazing group with amazing guys that try everything. By another side, you see how we are in this moment. You look to the other guys, they play with Schick, with Werner, with Nkunku. Nkunku is tired, get out, comes Forsberg, Schick is tired, come out, come Poulsen. And this is our situation. It's like to go to a fight with a gun without bullets. So we did what we could do. And I think if we score before them, the game would be different. You can tell me we had luck in some moments. I disagree. We had a great goalkeeper that made 2 magnificent saves, and that is not luck. That is an amazing goalkeeper. That goalkeeper also made a couple of fantastic saves. We had our chances, and we tried everything we could. I thank the fans for the support to the boys, and what I'm worried with is not with the 1-0 because the 1-0 is an open result. The 1-0 we can perfectly go there and win the tie. What worries me is that these are our players for the next, I don't know how many matches. We have to play in 2 days again. We could see Lucas absolutely dead. Bergwijn absolutely dead. Lo Celso dead. So we can look at it in the two perspectives. One perspective is I'm so proud of them, and they did absolutely fantastic. Another perspective is that's our situation. We are really in trouble. And if this was for this game, I would say, okay, no problem, 1-0, everything is open. What worries me is that we have Premier League and FA Cup to play too, and this is our situation.
I understand what you're saying, and you've been defending your players, and you're quite right. My point was that when you changed the shape, when you made the substitutions...
I didn't change the shape. I didn't change the shape. I play exactly with the same shape. I changed the pieces. I thought that with Bergwijn and Lucas both up, instead of Dele Alli, we could have the dynamic that we didn't have before. I knew that Lamela could give us only 15-20 minutes, and even so, a question mark. I also knew that Ndombele couldn't play for 90 minutes and much more than what he did, also very, very difficult to do. So I tried to manage the pieces that we had, and don't tell me that Lamela and Ndombele, they should start the game, because they couldn't start the game. So these guys, fantastic. Fantastic. I cannot be happier to have guys like them with the limitations we have. But here we go, and Chelsea drinking sparkling water with lemon and watching the game on TV. And Saturday morning, thank you very much. Thank you very much for the choice. Saturday morning we are there again.
I'll see you then.
Bye.
I actually found that quite an extraordinary interview in many ways. Slightly insulting to the players he had out on the pitch. In some ways.
In some ways, I understand what he's saying. He's talking about the lack of depth in his squad. He's lost his 2 main goal threats. People that scored the goals, they've scored half the amount of goals almost in the Premier League this year. I understand that. Yeah. But Lucas, Bergwijn, how many games have they played? So, I mean, moaning about freshness at this stage of the season. You're a football player. You've got an opportunity now to become a mainstay in this team. Take it with both hands. It's not about feeling weary and your legs are hurting. Yes, the likes of Lamela and Dumbele, he's just mentioned, they're injured. Coming back, you understand that they need time to get back in. But these players have to see it as an opportunity. You can see he's defending these players there. He's got heart. He wants these players and he wants to cajole them in some ways.
Also,
but at the same
sort
time,
of stating the fact that he doesn't think they're good enough.
I don't think he doesn't think they're good enough. I just think physically he doesn't feel that they're able to get through it at the moment.
Physically, you think?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that's from what I read into that interview.
I think that's frustrating as a manager if you've got two on the bench that you know are decent players, really good players, and you can't bring them on until later on in the game. You know, that's summing up. He's trying to sum up where he is as a manager. I'm not worried about that.
No.
My concern, I don't care what players are out there, you know, they've obviously got individuals, great players that are not in the team at the moment because of injury. But what my concern is, whatever team you got, if you're losing individuals, then you have to make it up with the shape that you put out. And you know exactly what you're going to do defensively, pressing the ball. Are we pressing? I didn't see any pressing together. No hunting together like they have done in the past.
They
And with
retreat.
them,
They retreat.
they
all
just
the time.
retreat behind the ball. But there was no, it was so easy to play against. That's my concern. Now, that's nothing to do with individuals. And then when they've got the ball at the moment in a 4-4-2, he didn't change the shape.
No, he didn't
Second
change it.
half.
No, he didn't.
It was just personnel. But there was no movement. They're too square and too flat, the two players in midfield.
Let me put
You've
it
got
to you,
play off
should he
angles.
have changed the shape?
I think he might have done.
Although
in the
they did
first
rally and play better in the second.
The warning signs were there, Gary, in the first 20 minutes. They could have been 3 down. If you were ever going to change the shape, it was then. So you might have matched them up and go wing back for wing back, we'll go 3 at the back and just hang on to their hats a little bit, get in at half time and do whatever. Because realistically, they could have been out of this tie in the first 20.
And realistically, Tottenham look a long way off, certainly a long way off the likes of Liverpool and even Manchester City at the moment. And you've got no Kane at the moment, and they look forlorn without Harry Kane. It's going to be difficult to keep that kind of player if things don't change.
Well, they were miles off that when Kane and Son were fit. To be honest, they were miles off Liverpool and City.
Exactly.
And them being out just makes it even worse. I think, but Dombele, Lamela, they were pluses when they came on. Hopefully, get up 20 minutes or half an hour, whatever they had into them. They'll be fresher for the weekend. Get them back in. I don't think it's all doom and gloom. I think Mourinho obviously is getting in the fact that he's struggling and he's not happy with his squad at the moment, but it's not all doom and gloom. I think they can go and have a real go at Chelsea on the weekend.
And what about the second leg? It's going to be hard, that's for sure, but he showed last season that they can perform miracles on occasions. Manchester City, of course. Ajax in the semi-final.
Well, they're going to have to come out of the shape they're in today. I mean, they were devoid of ideas today, unfortunately. Dele Alli, we saw his frustration. But I've played in that role myself, when you're chasing shadows and you're just trying to get round midfielders and back into shape. You feel like you're doing more defensively than you are offensively, and I think that's where his frustration came from.
Glenn?
No, absolutely. We've gone through it time and time again. They're playing in 2 straighter lines. I've never seen a Spurs side play so long. I don't know what the stats are, but from going from the back to the front, and they haven't got Kane. So if you haven't got Kane to hold up, they have gone a bit more direct under Mourinho. So if he's not there, and then Son's not there either to go in behind with his pace, you've got to find another way of playing, and that's a concern.
Tough time.
Yeah, and you'd think that's capable of doing that with Celso and Winks in there. You talk about them as being ball players, so they'll have to change the way they play for the second leg. Definitely the intensity, getting up against people to get a result in this time.
Okay, we'll find out in 3 weeks' time. Peter, thanks very much. Glenn too. Rio. That's it from us. Highlights of Atalanta versus Valencia follows us. Then you can catch the Greavesy documentary here at Tottenham. Mini Mourinho had the measure of his master. Good night.